Hey, real quick, y'all. Listen, something happened with my audio. I don't know what it is, but I've got it corrected now. But most of this video, there's a little bit of popping in some parts of the video. I've done my best to take that out and also put a little music in to kind of cover it up. But let me just apologize ahead of time for any popping that's in the video. Like I said, I've got it corrected now for future videos, but I didn't want to scrap this one because I put a lot of time into it. So let's get into it right now.
What's up, y'all? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another week. So today I'm going to be talking to my warm season friends. That's you guys with Bermuda, St. Augustine, Zoysia, centipede, and bahia grass. Now listen, my cool season friends, I'd appreciate it if you'd watch too, because those of you that pay attention, we're going to be talking strategy today, and you'll realize that some of the methods and strategies transcend grass types, as well as I've got an opportunity that some of you might like to take advantage of. I partnered with Milorganite, and we're gonna do a contest to see who can come up with the best lawn or DIY lawn care memes. I'll link that in the the thing over there where you can go and skip ahead if you're somebody that is creative and likes memes and likes to come up with that and would like an opportunity also to help out a nonprofit in our lawn care community. That said, what I'm doing today is I'm talking through the warm season approach now that we're coming into the fall. Did you know that the actual first official day of fall is only just a few days away? And because of that, you're probably noticing your warm season turf is really starting to slow down. And when I say slow down, I mean, maybe you're not having to mow every couple 2-3 days. Maybe you're getting away with mowing every 6 days now, maybe even every 7. Now, I'm not there yet down here in South Florida. I'll also have a little segment towards the end for my folks south of I-4 down here. But for the rest of you, for sure things are slowing down, and you're probably noticing some cooling temperatures as well. But one thing I wanted to alert you to is while the cooling temperatures are a signal to the grass to slow down, it's really more about day length. Here's a website, I'll link it below if you want to go check it out, because it's fun to just kind of play around and look at things and how they change and understand patterns of weather and all that in your area. But the thing that this talks about mostly is day length, and you'll notice that as we're here in the fall, we're down around that 12.5 hours of actual day length. This doesn't take into account shade that you get from trees or your house. This is just the full length of days, and this is a signal. When you start getting below 12.5 hours of day length, it's literally a signal in the plants, in the grass plants, to start slowing down and preparing for winter. You also notice this coming out of spring, right? Your grass won't green up. You'll see the cool season guys posting pictures all over Instagram in like mid-March, and their lawns are beautiful, and meanwhile Bermuda's still brown and dormant, right? And you gotta wait. Once you get over that 12.5 hours of day length heading towards 13, you'll notice that your warm season grasses will start to pick up. And the same as in the fall again, it's just the opposite of that. So with that, we wanna treat things a little bit differently as we move forward. And the first thing we wanna do is start playing defense. Now, the best way I can think of to play defense, especially for those of you that are right across, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, over into Texas, you guys have really a lot of massive problems with hairy bittercress, chickweed, poa annua. And what happens is that shows up in your lawn in the winter, especially the poa annua, annual bluegrass, because it's essentially a cooler season type annual. And so it greens up like in February in your lawn when your Bermuda or your St. Augustine or whatever else you have is dormant, and it just looks terrible. It's like zits in your lawn, right? So what you want to do is you want to play defense and prevent those things by applying a pre-emergent herbicide now, because now is when those annuals are going to start to germinate. They're going to grow slowly through the winter, and then they'll show up in January, February, so you prevent them now. I'll give you a couple links to pre-emergence below. We have Dithiopyr and Prodiamine. Now, if you want to know when you want to put those down, it's as soil temperatures are approaching 70 on the way towards fall. And I can tell you that right now, here are 3 cities. I got Marietta, Georgia, I got one in Texas, and I picked one in Louisiana here. Look at all of those across there. You guys are coming into that window right around October 15th or so. And today is like what, September something, in the middle of September? So you're almost right there. So in other words, a lot of you folks are coming into that window. Now, if you just want to know exactly when you come into that window, I've got a free app for you. It's the Yard Mastery app. I'll link it below. You can get it for Android or you can get it for iPhone. And it will tell you exactly, based on your house, exactly when your soil temperatures historically are going to hit 70, as well as it'll tell you leading up to the exact time when it does hit 70. So for those of you that like to really be told what to do, the app will do that. It'll tell you time to throw down, time to throw down. Check that out. But again, stopping the weeds, playing a little bit of defense with pre-emergent herbicides, that is our first goal for warm season turf starting right now in the next couple 2-3 weeks. Now, number 2, we're still playing defense here. We want to start thinking about possible disease pressure that could be hitting us as we move into this weather transition or this seasonal transition here. And I'm not really talking to Bermuda folks or Bahia folks. I'm actually talking mostly to St. Augustine and Zoysia, as well as centipede to a certain degree. You guys, me, us, we are at risk for rhizoctonia, which we call large patch. It's also called brown patch when it hits cool season lawns. That is one that is going to rear its ugly head here in the fall. Now, I actually, this year, disease in general, all season, even though it seems like it rained every day, all day, every day, I know I say that every single year, but it seems to me like we've had a really bad year with humidity and rain, but I've actually had almost no disease pressure this year. Very interesting. Now, I attribute that to two things. The first thing is for the gray leaf spot that I get almost every year in my St. Augustine. I switched up and I'm using the Clary's 333-336. This one, I get this from domyown.com, and this has done wonders for gray leaf spot for me. Now, they do recommend on the label that you also still use another fungicide. That's another group, so we've talked about resistance before. So I'm combining that with the azoxystrobin. So that has been my bulletproof strategy for my St. Augustine grass this year, and it's done really, really well for me. Now, we do have problems with brown patch in the spring here, or I'm sorry, large patch in the spring here, as well as during the summer I've had it. I'll link you to the video up there where I call it St. Fungustine. So I applied these two early in the spring. This one works against the brown patch. This one works against the gray leaf spot. And to a degree, you know, both work against both, but that's kind of the idea here. I only applied these early in the spring though as a preventative and haven't really applied all summer. And I haven't really had any measurable issues with disease at all. So I'm gonna chalk that up to good preventative early. And then I have been applying potassium products during the summer because those are allowed in my blackout, as well as some micros. So I can show you how good my lawn looks. I'll take you out there and show you, but things have been doing really well for me. So I've had a really good year when it comes to fighting off disease, and I attribute it to that fungicide switch up, as well as I attribute it to the fact that I've been putting potassium in the lawn here all summer. So either way, as we move into the fall though, I'm not gray leaf spot isn't an issue for me. So what am I gonna do going forward? I'm actually gonna go without the fungicides. I'm gonna see how we do because the lawn is looking great, and I'm gonna keep pushing in the potash, the potassium, to help it through. And I'm just gonna see if my lawn can get through this fall without any large patch. Now, just subscribe, hit that like button, because I do videos all year because I don't go dormant. So if I get brown patch, you guys will see it. I'll have to treat it. But for now, I'm gonna go with nothing, just keeping the high potash in there and seeing how we do, or how I do moving forward. But for those of you that do want to put down fungicides, we have the bulletproof strategy. I'll link right up there in the eye for you. It's store-bought products. It's Scott's Disease X, and then some propiconazole, both over the counter. That's a good strategy for those of you coming into a possible chance for disease that wanna, you know, go ahead and do some preventative. That works great for you too. One more quick tip. This right here, I used this on some Zoysia last year in the fall, towards the winter where I had a really bad issue. This worked awesome on brown patch. Extremely expensive. I get this on domyown.com. It's not expensive because of them. It's expensive because it's just expensive. But if you're somebody that has has had just terrible problems with large patch, I highly recommend this. But for me, I'm going without. I'm gonna let it ride. I'm gonna see how my lawn does this fall. Stay tuned. All right, third thing, and this is not really defense. This is more, I guess you could say offense, because we wanna keep the lawn green, right? So I'm gonna recommend fertilizing still, but we're gonna change it up. Because things are slowing down, we don't wanna push the lawn with nitrogen because it's naturally slowing down. But we still need to feed it, right? Even when the lawn is going into a resting state, we still want to feed it heading into that state. And what we want to do with our warm season turf is up the potassium or potash content in our fert and lower the nitrogen, as well as include micronutrients. Those are the things that are going to keep you green, because a lot of you guys, your lawn will stay green all the way through Halloween. You just may only have to be mowing it every 8, 9, or 10 days, right? So you don't want to push it too hard, and that's where, of course, I'm going to recommend the 7020 stress blend. To this day, I have no idea why it turns lawns green, because the nitrogen is 100% slow release. It's got 3% iron. That's probably it, 3% iron with that 20% potassium. And then I got the bionite on the backside, which gives it the smell of success and feeds the microbes. Something in that combination turns lawns super green. Let me link you to Shane's channel. You can see where he was doing some stuff with his Bermuda. You can see his results. I'll link that up there. I'll link it in the description below if you want to see a lawn that's other than mine that's been using it that looks great. So one of those things though, I'll link that below for you. If you want to get that, pick that up. 7020 Stress Blend is perfect for warm season grass heading into the fall. And again, don't forget, I've got my app if you want to know exactly when to put these applications down, all for the rest of this season as well as heading into next year. Get my free app. It'll tell you exactly what to do and when to do it. It's like a free lawn program right in your pocket. Okay, I wanted to take a quick pause in the action here and let you guys know I've got an opportunity for those of you that are creative. Me and Milorganite have
Milorganite and I. Anyway, we've teamed up to raise some money for Raising Men Lawn Care Service. I don't know if you guys remember them, or Rodney Smith, if you remember him, but our friend Ben, the Lawn Guardian, introduced us to him a couple years ago, and we raised some money for him. Well, now I've gotten together with Milorganite, and we've got a really cool promo that we're gonna raise some money for him, and it has to do with lawn memes.
Enter your own original lawn meme design for a chance to have it printed on a t-shirt for sale on the Lawn Care Nut online store. $5 of every lawn meme t-shirt purchased will be donated to Raising Men and Women in Lawn Care Service, a nonprofit organization that inspires youth to help provide free lawn care to the elderly, disabled, single mothers, and veterans in their own neighborhood. Visit the contest page on milorganite.com for more information, or click the link in the description below.
So there you go. Make sure you check out the landing page below for official rules of entry. But one thing, we can't just be ripping actual, copyrighted works from movies or things like that. So you kind of got to come up with your own thing here. I know some of you guys are super creative when it comes to, the actual meme itself, whereas others might be a graphic designer. Do the best you can to get it as camera ready as possible. Once we select the winner, we will have some light design work that we can do on the backside to help you, because this is going to go on a t-shirt or a hat or a sticker or something like that, probably most likely a t-shirt. So do the best you can, submit your memes below. I really look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. Some of you guys are super hilarious, and I know it'll be fun, and it's all for a good cause. So check that out on the landing page below.
All right, last I want to talk to my friends that are down here in Florida, south of I-4, and I always say south of I-4, I call that the frost line, and what I'm talking about is those of us whose lawns don't go dormant. Now, I know there's a bunch of you folks up there in Jacksonville. I talked to folks in Pensacola. You're not going to go dormant for a while either, but your lawns will go dormant, whereas south of I-4, if we have a normal winter, you won't go dormant. So a little bit different strategy there. For sure, we're going to use some pre-emergence in that, but for me, I'm coming out of my fertilizer blackout, my fertilizer ban. If you're not sure what that means, search your county plus fertilizer ordinance. So Manatee County fertilizer ordinance, Pinellas County fertilizer ordinance, search it that way, Citrus County fertilizer ordinance, and see if you have a fertilizer ordinance in your town. It's mostly, or in your county, it's mostly going to be those of you that are coastal or around Okeechobee maybe. So just think about that. With me, I can't apply nitrogen or phosphorus all during the summer. It's a tough time for me. These are times when I'm in massive depression because I can't throw down like I want to. I'm like handcuffed. I got some good things to throw down, but I need my nitrogen. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, now I can start throwing nitrogen down again. So I've got a whole different strategy that I'm going to undertake that's a little bit more aggressive than what I'm talking about in this video for those two reasons. Number one, that my lawn hasn't been fed in a long, long time. And number two, that we just don't go dormant here. We do slow way down. We get to a point where I might only have to mow my lawn once every 2.5 to 3 weeks, but it does stay green because temperatures do stay high, and I'm in full 100% sun, and I keep it irrigated. So there's a couple little quick 2 tree tips for you. The last thing I'll recommend for my friends, pretty much anywhere, but for those of you in Florida, you haven't used your irrigation all summer because of the rain, you're going to need it going into the winter. So you want to get out and clear out those sprinkler heads and get your irrigation set up now. What you don't want to do is have us hit that first dry spell that's going to happen sometime in September, and your irrigation isn't working and your lawn goes out dormant and you can't recover it. So there you go. Hope you guys found something helpful out of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the lawn.